I was thrilled to hear that equine therapy was a thing and that the waiting list at House on a Hill Occupational Therapy was less than 12 months. I thought, like most people, that it was some kind of horse riding activity, but it's not that at all. It's all about approaching horses on their terms. Do they want to sniff you? Are they open to being patted? Would they like to be brushed, or would they rather go for a walk with you leading them? Lizzie adores animals, so even if equine therapy had been nothing but psychobabble nonsense, I would have signed her up. But it was obvious within minutes that this therapy is actually a brilliant way of bypassing a lot of conscious barriers to teach some extremely useful life skills. For Lizzie, the course focused on reading and respecting body language and boundaries, including her own, grounding herself in the real world, and some strategies for calming herself as well as being in tune with her own body and emotions. House on a Hill is based in Latham, Canberra, which is where we met with the therapist before and after being with the horses. The horses themselves are at Gundaroo in the country. It's a simply gorgeous location with plenty of space and brilliant views. Being physically out of Canberra and literally outside has a clarifying effect. It's not particularly accessible for wheelchairs, as the horses often wander around the paddock and enjoy making the humans walk up to them. Like any country location, there's plenty of grass, rocks and horse poo. However, if you spoke to the therapist, I imagine she could find a way to make it work. I'm sure someone who is hard of hearing or who had low vision could participate, as sessions are always tailored specifically for the child. Parents are allowed to watch and to pat any horses that approach them, but there is an air-conditioned room available for them to relax in, which I think is probably better for the child, although I was very pleased to be allowed to watch. There are 2 staff members per 1 child, so it's very safe and supervised. The brilliant thing about horses as therapy animals is that they can teach social skills on easy mode. They're a lot easier to understand than humans, although many of their movements apply to humans too. For example, if they are not feeling sociable, they tend to take a few steps backwards. And if they're relaxed, they stand with loose muscles, which is often obvious as they take the weight off one of their legs. So apart from being clearer in their body language, horses also don't laugh at you if you make a mistake. That makes approaching horses a lot easier than approaching classmates. Social skills are just like any other skill. If you start on easy mode, you're less likely to get frustrated and give up. Lizzie was basically glowing the whole time. There are several horses who all have different personalities, so there's always at least one horse ready to engage with the session. They all have their eccentricities too. One horse was overworked at her previous home, so she needs extra kindness. One gets jealous if another horse is getting attention, and so on, just like humans. In terms of grounding exercise, the therapist talked very naturally about things like what Lizzie was feeling inside and outside her body, and she used the horse's relaxation as the basis for relaxing exercises, which was brilliant because instead of Lizzie thinking, I am stressed so I need to do work to fix it, she can think of the horses and immediately feel calm as she imagines herself as a horse. It also helps her see that when others are rude or inflexible, it's not a rejection of her, but a sign that the person needs extra kindness, something she has plenty of. Working on social skills and your own mental health is hard. Equine therapy makes it joyful and is more effective as a result. I highly recommend this kind of therapy for other autistic kids who like animals, and for kids in general, and adults.